welcome to Daddy Knows Best. My name is Manny Santiago. I'm here with Josh Vasquez. What's going on, guys?
What's going on, Manny? How you been?
I'm doing pretty good, man. I'm doing pretty good. Back from the dead. Today we'll be taking a look at Super Smash Bros. For the Wii U. And this game was released on November 21st, 2014 in the US. There is a 3DS version. I've never really played it, but it looks pretty similar to
this
Super
game
Smash
looks
Bros.
good. This game looks look at that. And Nintendo, man, I gotta hand it to them, man. Every time they come out with it takes them a long time to do it, but when they come out with something, they polish it up real nice.
Yeah, that's something that you can expect for the most part on most Nintendo games. It's just that level of polish is there. You know what I mean? And it's interesting you talk about the polish because this game, if you look at how much it costs to buy this game new, this game is still almost like if it was. It's still the same price probably as whenever it was released the first time, man. Like the way Nintendo makes these games, I don't know who they think they are. They probably think they're Call of Duty, but I'm telling you, the game is still pretty expensive.
I think
but it's
in terms of video games, I think when we discuss things like Nintendo, we're generally talking about things like top of the line stuff. Like it's like the same thing of like Apple, or something like that, to where this is top of the line premium content. So I think that's their rationale with keeping their prices at retail for so long.
Yeah, I tell you that the Super Smash Bros. Game, whenever it came out to the original N64, that game was just so much fun and kind of like this mashup that they were doing. Pretty much just kind of showcased like how much love people had for like Nintendo characters. And I think that's why a lot of people gravitate to this game, is the fact that it's so nostalgic, and they didn't just do it, they did it right. You know what I mean?
Right. And this game is, well, not this game particularly, but this series is well known in the fighting community as one of, something as akin to Street Fighter or Mortal Kombat. I mean, there's people that play this on a competitive level. But what I see here is just a fun game to be had by anybody, whether a professional or not.
I tell you what, this is probably the only game that I still play nowadays as a couch co-op. Like, I constantly get like friends who have it constantly invite me over to come play it, and I don't really do that anymore with other games, especially with the limited time that I have. But whenever, let's say I visit a friend of mine and they have this game and we put it in there, like, as long as the baby's like doing her own thing and everybody's kind of paying attention to or it's got some free time, dude, I tell you, we play some Smash and we play a lot of it. And
I already know the answer to this question. I'm like, do you enjoy the art style? Like, do you enjoy is it kind of jarring for when it goes to one art style to the next, or if you're seeing two characters that don't even belong in the same universe fighting against each other, or is it just, do they do it so well that it doesn't even make a difference?
Honestly, I feel like the way that this game is, highly polished, it really doesn't matter, because even if the characters don't belong, you're kind of happy that they actually did their interpretation of what that character was supposed to play like in a fighting game. Like, whenever they did Bayonetta, they pretty much just kind of did the same mechanics or the same fighting mechanics that you would have expected from the Bayonetta game, and then kind of did their version of it from Smash.
Right.
And that, that's how, when you do it right, it doesn't really matter. It or at least to me, it doesn't bother me to see their interpretation actually being done correctly. And with Cloud, for example, you he pretty much has a lot of classic moves from Final Fantasy VII. I know that you never played that game, but
I still have a fondness for it, even though I haven't played it.
Yeah, and the game, I tell you, it does really well in catering to the fans that actually like these characters. Like, whenever you're playing as Ryu, I'm telling you, man. Like you can actually do the same combos that you could from the Street Fighter games, and you could do the down forward and then like regular punch to do your Hadoukens, and then you can actually do the moves like you would playing the game Street Fighter.
So this game, can you play this game in like short spurts? Does it take? It doesn't look like it takes much time to get through a match. I mean, you seem to be breezing through matches pretty quickly. I mean, you said it's a great couch co-op game. Does it maintain that your time is precious, kind of being a daddy and also wanting to play video games?
Yeah, whenever we play over at my friend's house, I tell you, I probably spend with them maybe like an hour and a half at most, and we get our fill. You know what I mean? Like it's such good quality game time that you're getting there that when you're done, it's pretty much because you're like, okay, I had a lot of fun, but it's time to stop, and I'm not feeling like I wasted my time with this game. You know how some people need to have some level of accomplishment with this. The fact that whether you're playing the game in single player and doing the little missions that the game has, or you're playing the game in multiplayer with your friend, the fact that you're able to best your friends at this game that is so tight, the mechanics are so tight that it feels great, at least on my end when I was playing it, that I felt like I was getting not only the gameplay and the quality of gameplay for the game. I felt like I was actually getting some good times with my friends and kind of working on those relationships too. You know what I mean? Like we talk trash to each other, and as a father, you don't get to spend a lot of time with friends whenever you have a newborn. So having a good quality time is really important, at least to me, whenever I'm deciding to spend time with friends doing it a certain way. And this is the type of game that whenever we go visit friends, my wife can play, my friend that's there and his girlfriend play, and everybody's kind of having a good time, and I don't mind putting it on while Amelia is like crawling on the floor, just doing other stuff. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like it's not so overly violent or so it's just very colorful. There's no blood or anything, so it's not something that I would mind playing with having my daughter around, which to me is really important now. Like I can't say that about, let's say, if I put Shadow of Mordor on and my daughter's there. I was like, oh man, I probably shouldn't be playing this. Probably shouldn't be playing this game.
But no, I could definitely see the appeal. You got sparks flying, you have different color characters, and the music is great, the sound is great. Other than the one-on-one or the, I'm assuming this has a 4-on-4.
You can play. I think I haven't done it with friends, but I think you can play up to 8 players.
So other than the 8 to 8 players that you can play with this, what other modes does this game offer?
There's a couple challenge modes that the game has, where there's also like a kind of like a story mode where as you play as a character, you'll be unlocking more of him through the game, like going through different stages. But there's they always have, like a lot of fighting games, they have the solo modes and then they have the multiplayer modes, and the multiplayer modes, you can kind of set them to whatever you want. You know what I mean?
Right.
You can say like, oh, I want to have items. I don't want to have items. I want to have... And the solo modes are more of like your challenge modes, your time trials, and that kind of thing.
So it's very customizable as far as if you wanted to play like vanilla Smash Brothers, you wanted to play Smash Brothers just like you played it back on the N64, you can customize it basically to your needs.
Oh, yeah. This game, for sure. Whenever you're playing the game, you can select a stage so that it does all the new features from the stage, or you can actually just select the stage on its final form, which is just your classic Smash, where it's just a level playing field, and there's no things around the stage that are gonna change the outcome of the fight. You know what I mean? So you don't have to watch out for that. So you can play it either plain, or you can play it with all the new features. You can play it with items or without items. I think that's very nice. Just because if you want to enjoy those features, that's great. If you want to use items, that's great. But if you just kind of say like, look, man, I think this is bullshit. I lost because of the stage.
Right.
Let's just play on
Play on
a
a level playing field. Yeah.
But I tell you, man, I really enjoyed my time with this game, and it's probably one of the few fighting games that I truly enjoy because, a lot of people do fighting games. Not a lot of people do them with this level of quality. And it's almost like, whenever I think about this, it's almost like whenever you see like a game done by Capcom, that they really think about everything, and they look at all these hitboxes, and they look at this player has a strategy, and that strategy can be used for anybody else. Like you can beat anybody if you're using the strategy from that player.
And are the
what I mean?
players really diverse in like their move sets? Is there any kind of like OP players, or is everybody pretty much dealt? Is it basically what I'm asking is everybody pretty much balanced?
Yeah, if you've got a character that has like really good moves, then the way you win a Smash is by knocking them off stage. So maybe they'll have like great moves, but they don't have really easy smashes to land. So you'll be able to rack up the percentages real fast with that character, but you have to hit him with a few specific moves to actually knock him out.
Right.
So, and if your character's really powerful, like I'm playing as King DDD right now. If your character's really powerful, but he'll be like extremely slow.
He's
you know what I mean?
Slow. Right.
Yeah, so there's a lot of, to me, there's a lot of balance, and it can be said that I never felt like I've played a character and said like, I lost because the character is just not good enough.
What's your favorite homage? Like I see that there's a lot of Nintendo took a lot of care in the various IPs and characters. What's like one of your favorite homages that Nintendo pays in Super Smash Brothers?
Well, in this one in particular, I really enjoy your Zelda characters because they not only do your regular Link and Zelda and Sheik, they also do the Toon Link, and Ganondorf. So if you're a Zelda fan, you're definitely getting your fill of good Zelda characters to play as. It's not like they just did one or two; they did a lot of them, and they extend from Ocarina of Time all the way to like the rest of the story. So I feel like they really did a good job in capturing their individual moves. And also capturing like the different stories that in different games that they've released, from all the way from Ocarina of Time all the way to like Majora's Mask and that kind of stuff.
So who's your favorite character that you like to play with? Who is your main?
Whenever
like when the shit gets real, who is your go-to guy or gal?
So right now it's Cloud from Final Fantasy VII for the Super Smash Brothers, but that he's a DLC character, so not everybody may buy that character. So from the regular game without the DLC, King DDD, man, I go DDD on a bunch of people's asses, and I'm telling you, I love that character because like whenever I let that mallet go and I hit you, I was like, oh man, I got you.
So he's kind of like the Donkey Kong of Smash Brothers for Wii U, because I remember Donkey Kong was kind of slow, but when Donkey Kong hit you in the Nintendo 64 version, you felt it and you were flying.
Oh yeah, I like King DDD just because he has that the little spike ball, and if the stage there's sometimes the stage is not favorable for that kind of stuff, but when it's a good item to have to kind of distract people. And then I'll be the escape that he has, like he can jump multiple times, and that helps out a lot. But my favorite move is whenever he charges like forward normal attack, and you're charging that mallet, and somebody's like running at you saying like, oh, I'm gonna get you before you actually let that thing go, and then you get him, and it's just so satisfying to like see them go, man. It's good damage, and it's a good Smash to have.
Well, I can tell you that I've never played this game before, but just by sitting here and watching it, I can tell you that I could sit here and watch people go at it all day. I mean, this is a fun game to watch.
Oh yeah, like it's so pretty, and it's so tight that whenever you're looking at the fights, you're like, it's not like I don't know. I don't enjoy watching Street Fighter games, or I don't enjoy watching games like um
Like
what's the other
competitive
one?
fighting games, like
No, Marvel vs. Capcom. I'm not really fond of watching like Capcom games,
right,
but I really enjoy watching me some Smash because it's not a like an extreme combo base. It's like a single hit type of thing. You know what I mean?
right, and it could come down to the wire, as you
Yeah,
demonstrated in this video. I mean, there was a couple matches that went straight to sudden death. So
yep,
that is you know fast paced action up to the end to where one hit can be the determining factor, which I think is pretty awesome.
yeah, and it's just the fact that you know like how in Marvel vs. Capcom, if somebody grabs you with a specific combo, you're like, oh man, he got me, and he's just gonna rinse and repeat, and just kick my ass with that. But in here, it's those single hit moves, man. It's just really awesome to land, and they're so precise. That's I think that's what makes it fun. The fact that you just have some really tight controls and really tight gameplay to go with it.
Well, that's been another episode of Daddy Knows Best. Stay tuned for more video articles and video game related content on thegamermind.com. Thank you, Manny, for showing me Super Smash Brothers for the Nintendo Wii U. Take care.